y'all. I chose to read the book The Things They Carried by Tim O'Brien, which was published in 1990. I did read it from cover to cover and absolutely loved it. This book is pretty much a documentary of Tim O'Brien's tour in Vietnam. It begins talking about things that the soldiers carried in their pockets and different items like that. And then it turns into symbolizing the things they carried emotionally through the experiences that they had in their time in the war. O'Brien writes about his experiences throughout the war, things that he went through and saw and had to do. And it talks about different battles, the time he was drafted, and things that he did before he went into the war. It talks about other soldiers' experiences, and it also talks about a girl who he was in love with when he was younger. I really love this book because it kind of hits home. My father served in Vietnam, and it royally messed him up. He has never really talked about any of that except for, I'd hear stories in his sleep, which reading this book made some of that stuff make sense because of some of the stuff that he would say in his sleep. He kind of went along with some of the stuff that, of course, wasn't the same stories, but it sounded similar. Another connection that I made with it was something my dad always said to me growing up and still says to me this day. He says, "Didi Mao," which means get to it pretty much, or get going, however. And I thought it was just something that he made up because he made up stuff all the time just to make me laugh or whatever. But it was in this book. And then I realized it was something that he picked up during his time in the war. So actually almost squalled when I read that. But yeah. I made my lesson plan. Obviously, this book is way above level for any elementary student, so I chose to have a discussion with my students to ask them what they think about, what they think war is, and if they have any knowledge of the Vietnam War or know anybody that served in it. And then once we had our discussion, I would play a YouTube video that describes how it started, events throughout it, and how it ended. And we would discuss, after the video was over, we would discuss their thoughts on it, what surprised them, what new knowledge they, what new knowledge they gathered from it, and if anything really stuck out to them. And then once we discussed that, I would have the students group into pairs and choose something that really stuck out to them in the video. Whatever that may be, then they research it, find any information that they can find on that aspect. And then once everybody's done, then we would share all of our items that we found as a group and present that information. So that was my spiel for the book. I highly recommend it.